Reality is messy and unpredictable, so it's only fitting that shows marketing themselves as reality television have more than a few surprises. And with the boom in reality programming, some shows have gone over and above in the hopes of being noticed by audiences. But even though there's no shortage of entertainment, some situations are just so outstanding that we thought they deserved a shout-out. Here are Screen Rant's 10 most shocking reality TV moments of all time. Jersey Shore fade to black. We all know someone who gets a little silly when they drink, but for 6 seasons, that's what the cast of Jersey Shore did for a living. The gang would dress up, get wasted, and usually engage in some degree of buffoonery.
I was just like, oh wow, I'm like, what is going on right now?
The cast's most ridiculous member is also its tiniest. At just over 4.5 feet tall, Nicole Snooki Polizzi had an incredible ability to stir up trouble wherever she went, and in the series' 4th episode, it backfired. Thinking that someone was stealing drinks, Snooki ruffled some Jersey feathers, and got punched in the face for it. The result is one reality TV moment that will go down in infamy. The Bachelor after the final rose. At this point, The Bachelor is a reality television institution. Since 2002, audiences have followed the stories of eligible men searching for the one, and thanks to its success, there's an entire universe of dating shows to choose from. What starts as a group of about 25 potential mates eventually gets narrowed down to one, and marriage is the end goal. As you can probably imagine, the competition is through the roof. So when it comes down to only 2 women, the choice should be pretty obvious at that point, right? Wrong. After the Romeo from season 13 proposed to one lady, he turned around and changed his mind on national television. Saying the breakup was public feels like an understatement, since over 17 million people watched it happen. America's Next Top Model, the girl who sends Tyra over the edge. Being on America's Next Top Model is an honor, and anyone who acts otherwise is setting themselves up for a lecture from Tyra Banks. One of the model hopefuls in the show's 4th cycle learned that the hard way. After displaying what Banks felt was a bad attitude, model Tiffany Richardson came under fire at the elimination ceremony. An argument between the 2 women escalated quickly, which culminated in Banks full-on yelling at Richardson. Obviously, Richardson was the one eliminated that week, but we're willing to bet that even though she didn't win, she's one of the most memorable contestants in the show's 22-season history. Keeping up with the Kardashians, Vanity Unfair. Shining a light on anyone's family dynamic is a bold move, and the Kardashian clan have been doing it since 2007. When news of Caitlyn Jenner's transition hit the media, many were stunned, and while the reactions were mixed, the news promoted a lot of discussion about gender transition. Considering who this family is, it should come as no surprise that the intensely personal subject was at the center of some of the most popular episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But the moment that made the biggest splash was Jenner's interview with Vanity Fair magazine. In fact, so many people were interested that a spin-off, I Am Kate, was created just to focus on her. The Hills, all good things. For just under a decade, reality television was run by a bunch of kids from California. After the end of MTV's Laguna Beach, some of the characters moved on to the follow-up show called The Hills, a show loaded with teenage angst. Lauren Conrad moved from her childhood neighborhood to the big city, and audiences were beside her every step of the way as she fumbled her way to adulthood. That is, until fellow Laguna alum Kristen Cavallari took over. Fans took sides in every argument and were supposedly seeing real-life drama. Until the last shot of the series anyway, in which the camera zooms out to show that the scene was being shot on a soundstage. And just like that, it ruined its own legacy. Survivor, The Great Lie. Ask any fan and they'll tell you, Survivor is all about the challenges. Seeing our everyday conveniences suddenly transformed into luxuries is one of its most interesting aspects. One thing the survivors find the hardest is being away from their loved ones, and perhaps the most coveted reward comes in the form of a visit with a family member. During the show's 7th season, the winner of that visit was a contestant known as Johnny Fairplay. After a friend revealed that Johnny's grandmother died, the tribe voted to let Johnny have the time with his friend, given the unfortunate news. But shortly after, it was discovered that Johnny engineered the entire situation, and his grandma was just fine. Miss Universe 2015. Of all the people in a pageant, the host has it the easiest. They don't have to answer hard-hitting political questions or parade around in a swimsuit. And although they may have the most camera time, they're usually pretty forgettable. Unless you're Steve Harvey. When Harvey hosted the 2015 Miss Universe pageant, he almost made it out unscathed. But then he announced the wrong winner. That's right, even though he was physically holding a card with the winner's name on it, the crown went to the wrong contestant. After realizing his mistake, Harvey was genuinely mortified. And like the classy ladies they are, Miss Colombia and Miss Philippines handled the mix-up with grace. The Bachelorette limo arrives. Given the aforementioned universe of dating shows, it can be hard for showrunners to keep their content fresh. But because there are so few limitations on reality television, people behind the scenes are always scheming about the next possible twist. This has led to some pretty interesting variations on old classics. And the premiere episode of the 11th season of The Bachelorette is no exception. Audience is expected to be greeted by one eligible bachelorette and 20-something potential mates. So when two bachelorettes emerged and the mates were asked to vote on which one should stay, the show's whole foundation was rocked. American Idol Charlotte auditions. American Idol has gone through a few different judging combinations over its 15-season run. For the most part, they've all been pretty well respected in the industry, but when Mariah Carey showed up, critics took notice. Given the songstress's diva reputation, audiences ate up every snide remark she made, and when she butted heads with fellow judge Nicki Minaj over a contestant named Summer, the exchange made an impression.
The music will cut me off if I can. Oh, darling, may I express this to her as a singer?
To this day, it's hard to understand what their argument was actually about, but it was a big deal nonetheless. And for a show that many pundits argued was on its last legs, the TIFF provided a much-needed popularity boost. Australia's Next Top Model live finale. A few years before Steve Harvey announced the wrong winner's name on a global scale, Sarah Murdoch had the same experience on a slightly smaller level. As the host of Australia's Next Top Model, Murdoch had the responsibility of declaring the competition's winner on live TV. Given its unpredictable nature, even the most seasoned veterans stumble from time to time. And yet again, the wrong person was named the victor. When Murdoch realized the mistake, she apologized profusely and admitted the incorrect name had been announced into her earpiece. Both models took a second to understand what had happened and were good sports about it. Whoopsie. What do you think of our list? Did we miss any other shocking reality TV moments? Tell us about them in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great videos like this one.